Hi, team. Welcome to the Escape Podcast for Star Wars The Old Republic. Coming up, we talk about getting to level 70 in Knights of the Eternal Throne and what to do next. Our broadcast, but first, some game and AIE Guild news. Our broadcast astromech today is EPC 172. Hey, 172, I need your phone number again, because, see, I had to send my Samsung back, with the battery issue, and I lost all my phone contacts. You know where my phone contacts are now? They're in a galaxy far, far away.
Oh.
Get it? Get it? Galaxy.
Yes, they
Away.
burst into flames in a galaxy far away.
With me, as always, is Seema. Hi, Seema. How's it going?
Hi, Max. It's going really well. Um, I've spent some time this week on the story, so I'm finished with the story now. My main character is level 70, and due to some hijinks we had in MFN tonight, now I have a Sork at level 70. Now I just need to get my pub character to 70 so that I can run ops. When I leveled my Merc, I did it with the story. So like when you level via the story, you get big chunks of XP after each chapter. And I got to level 70 long before I finished the story. But next time I do it, I think I'm going to try another way, which is level to 70 first, doing other things, and then throughout the story get command XP.
Mm.
So that's a different way of looking at it. I've opened a few crates now. I've gotten two 230 relics, although one of them is an unused type of relic, which I probably won't equip because, effort. And on my Sork tonight, out of my first crate, I got a 230 set piece, some boots.
Okay. That's
so that was pretty
interesting.
good.
Yeah.
We had fun times in Dread Palace tonight. I want to thank Death for leading our shenanigans. We went in there, killed a bunch of stuff, and got killed by a bunch of stuff, and tried a couple bosses, and just had fun all around. And I especially want to thank DP Roberts and Stavis for switching out to do some healing, because we really needed that. And Applis did that too later on in the evening. I guess the message is we could use some more healers in the guild if anybody out there is a healer and would be interested.
That would be great. What does this
And
next comment mean?
I have to change my hair now because I find it very distracting that when I jump up and down, my hair flips up like it's only attached at the very top of my skull, and like the back of my head is bald.
Do it again. Wait, I gotta look up. Let me back up. I can't see from that angle.
Want me to turn?
Jump up and down. No, right there. See, it must be really obvious to you because it's sort of not obvious to me.
It's very, yeah, I mean, I see almost all the way to the top of my head. So I have to change my hairdo to like one that has a bun or something that doesn't move when you jump up. Or I have to stop jumping up and down. That was my first plan, but apparently that's not happening.
Okay. Well, new expansion, new hair. That seems fair.
Yeah.
So that's not a bad thing. My hair is a fixed hair helmet on my head.
Yes.
Although
Your hair looks like those wigs that you could order off the back of comic books that are made of one solid piece of plastic.
Exactly. Hair
But
helmet.
but
Yep.
it looks very nice. Your hair is nice.
Why, thank you. Your hair looks nice too. I have also gotten at least one character to 70 and a couple characters to 66 or 67. I don't have two to 70 yet. I did switch over, and I shouldn't do this, but my main on the Imperial side is my Mercenary. My main on the Republic side is my Vanguard, and I really should go and level up my Commando so that I can have a matching character on each side right away. But I like my Vanguard, so I didn't level up my Vanguard. So I don't know. I probably will still do that. I'll go and level up my Commando. I have gotten some command crates. I'm up to Galactic Command level rank 10 on my Mercenary, and that's very casual playing. It's been a terrible terrible or great, as you maybe could classify it, weak for work. Having a lot of work to do is not necessarily a bad thing. So that I had a bunch of stuff, been quite busy, not a lot of time to play, and still got to command rank 10. And one of the ways I did it, and I find this interesting, and maybe something we can talk about what to do when you get to level 70. But I've been doing some ranked PvP.
So brave.
And this is the first time I actually ever got myself around to bothering to do it, for one. And I pulled the trigger and said, I'm going to do it because I want to see how many Galactic Command points you're getting, for one. For two, you do get a ton, so then I did it a few more times. For three, I won a couple of, I did only like 4 matches and I won 2 of them. And for
I'm not
4,
surprised.
I've convinced myself that my mercenary isn't my main PvP character, my Sork is. So I'll play on my mercenary, and if I win, fine. If I lose, fine. I'll be fine with it. There's a lot of people just trying to get in there and get command XP, but people playing well, and was fine. It was fun, and I got a ton of command XP on the bonus day I was getting like 1,000 command points for a win. You get a solid amount of medals. I got like 1,000 command points.
So what are the requirements for ranked? I mean, you can't just go right into ranked with nothing, can you? Or do you have to?
Valor level 20 or 25, I think, is the only barrier at this point, which it does not take very long to get.
Right. Do you think that's too low of a barrier to entry for that level of play, or?
No. Although hardcore solo rank queuers might think that it is, because what happens is, if you only queue solo, your solo rank, you play ranked and you only queue solo, you're going to have to take what you get on your team. So then if you're getting other people in there that are not, totally hardcore and don't have their gear, aren't geared out, which is going to be more of a challenge now as sort of things progress and people start getting 230 and 240 gear, although it's not that big a gap. But then those people are going to be sort of mad because they want high-quality people that they'll be queuing up with. If you're queuing with a group of 4 players, and that's how you play ranked, groups of 4, then you'll love it. Fine, bring in the scrubs, because now that at least the queues will be, and because then they can win every time, or and maybe win or have some good competition once in a while. But also, from what I hear on a lot of servers is the case, there's a lot more ranked PvP that's popping than ever before. So, pros and cons. DP Roberts in the chat room is saying, I hear they yell at you if you aren't great at PvP. They can, and I have had people yell at me in the past when I've actually been pretty good and doing quite well and doing just as good, if not better, than they are. But I've had people yell at me in the past. I have not had that happen in quite a while. Other people have said that they've still seen it. I have not had that happen in quite a while in unranked, and not that much in ranked. And we got, like one of the matches we sort of got killed, and that was actually an unranked match. We got killed. I don't know why we got killed so bad, but if it does happen, just ignore it. I would play enough unranked until you're comfortable, and then play ranked, and you'll see what it's like. You'll feel what it feels like, and if it ends up getting not fun, well then that's going to be too bad for ranked. Ranked's going to not be getting queues anymore. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Anyway, I found that interesting that it sort of drove me to do content that I hadn't done before. Let's, though, talk about the rest of the things going on, because there is a ton happening in the news.
Now, an Imperial News Network report.
There was an emergency maintenance server shutdown reboot and a patch that went in on Sunday already. So this was yesterday or the day before. If you're hearing this, was it yesterday morning? What day is
even
today?
though
I don't even know today.
whether or not you're hearing it, it was on Sunday at 12.
It was on
December
Sunday. 5th. There was an exploit available that would allow you to gain more command XP points from disintegrating a stack of Jawa junk than you should be by setting the size of the stack that you're disintegrating to many more than you actually have. And so they wanted to get in quickly and fix that, and they did say that they would potentially be taking action against people that had done bad things with that, and maybe take away some command points. Yes, and we'll talk about the other potential problem that's not an exploit, but there's more problems that they're continuing to fix.
So there also was a thread about the 8 companions, because when you turn level 68, I believe it is, then you have access to 8 companions you can send 8 companions out on crew missions. I mean, if you don't have 8 companions, you can only send as many as you have, but yeah, up to 8 companions. And there's a thread on the forums where people were discussing whether or not this was an exploit, because maybe it was unintended, and you never know what BioWare is going to think is an exploit. But Eric jumped into that thread and said, no, this is intended. It's not an exploit. So craft away, my lovelies.
And I'm hearing, and I did not read that, but I'm reading into what I hear you read into that. And I've seen in some other posts in the past, you never know what BioWare is going to think is an exploit. I have never seen them identify something as an exploit that wasn't clearly an exploit that we all knew was an exploit. Right. I didn't know it was an exploit to duplicate items over and over and get 1 billion gold, 1 billion credits in 5 minutes. How am I supposed to know that's an exploit? No, I have not seen that happen. I didn't know it was an exploit to be at Koratani and just bring people in and get loot on unlimited loot for people that didn't actually play the operation. Okay. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there was something that was borderline but
no. Because I mean, even other people in the thread mention, it says right at the top of the panel, 8 companions max. It's not like you were sneaking 2 extra ones in. It's yeah.
And it was pretty clear. And even if that was a mistake on their part, that wouldn't be something that they would consider an exploit, because you're not doing anything to make that happen. If everybody gets to 66 and everybody gets max deployable companions going up to 8, and you're not like working around something, they're not going to like ban you because you played the game. It's pretty obvious, all the things that they've considered. Anyway, fine. So that's what I hear there. Next news item. A little ranty on some of the tone that I hear in some of the forums and Reddit discussions lately that I'll try to be reasonable about, but anyway.
No promises.
Next point. Currency conversions happened on Saturday rather than Friday as previously planned. This did not affect the full access on Friday, though. You should see all of those currency conversions and cartel coin conversions for the weekly passes and all of those things, and those should be done. The fact that you got your crystals turning into credits was not an exploit, so you don't need to... Crikey, man. All right. Done.
There was, and I think there still is a bug where the bonus command XP is not being computed correctly for bonus activities. So it's been added to the known issues list. This is just basically to let us know that they know it's happening. I take that to mean if you do the bonus activity like that one night we were doing Uprisings, we may not have been getting the correct computation of CXP because it wasn't taking the bonus part into effect. Yes.
Well, that's interesting.
But it's been added to the list, yeah.
So if that means that they're going to be jacking up the amount of bonus you get for doing the bonus thing, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like
we might
that
see
idea.
that, yeah.
I would like it to feel strongly rewarding to do the bonus thing, because again, that's going to promote people sort of dancing around and doing new content. Oh, Smoke mentioned this to me, and I didn't know what he was talking about at the time because I wasn't level 70 at the time. He said, "Oh, the Galactic Command page is animated," and then I looked at it, and I didn't notice it until you hover over any of the things.
Yeah.
And then
I
they
like the
are. Look.
Warzone one with the
Yeah,
two
look,
little
the
guys
Warzone one. They're
fighting.
like fighting. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, look, in Starfighter, they're like shooting.
they're shooting.
The
Yeah,
chapters even like flip through, like it's
and the
flipping through
operations, the
chapters.
little ops team they're like spending their lifesavers and
Oh, are they?
shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And there's the guy like standing in the back, not contributing. That's me, right there.
it's the healer. Oh no, it's a
See that?
gunslinger or a
That's me
sniper.
AFK. That's me AFK way in the back, out of range of the boss. Let's see what else. Update to crafting materials. They said the crafting schematics that drop from ops that are currently requiring mats that you get from Conquest, that's not intended. The ones you should be getting there should be requiring the mats that you get from ops. I do think it's interesting the amount of schematics that are dropping in all the various places, in command crates and from bosses and in different places. We are getting some significant schematics enough to be
Yeah.
making significant items. In fact, Seema, you're crafting 230 versatile barrels right
Yeah,
now
that drop
already?
and that schematic dropped in ops. I don't know what they're actually referring to here because I didn't have to get anything from Conquest to make those,
Yeah,
but
I don't even know what the Conquest crafting
oh
material is. Is that different than the
no,
thing
I
in the
because I
thing?
think it used maybe they've already fixed this because I think it was just the new ISO, the new refined ISO thing,
Yada yada. And then
and
what's the purple one
yeah,
called? I
it
forgot
must
what
have
the.
been the purple from research, maybe. I have to I would have to switch to my Arms Tech to take a look at it, but it was I already had the purples, or
Okay.
Irish
So
probably knows too.
yeah, so it seems to be fixed or working fine from what I can see.
It's a problem, or it's fixed, or it's working fine. One of those.
And another point for us to come back to when we get to the segment of, are we getting gear quick enough? If people aren't considering crafting and they're only worried about the set bonus, then it might seem slow. If you're considering all the other ways that you can sort of be filling in pieces and stuff, I think things are sort of on track, but that's just me. So that's the crafting material.
So there was also a thread in the forums about a fellow who logged in one day and found that his lightsaber that he'd been using for years already suddenly had a higher valor requirement on it than it had before, and he could no longer use it. And while he had it equipped, it was showing red. And so he posted about that, and Eric actually posted in that thread on the same day, but it was already 8 pages in. So this is obviously resonated with a lot of people, and I think other people were seeing this too. But that is an unintended result, and that he said the team is looking into ways to correct this in future patch. So if you've had that happen to you, where you had an item and it suddenly has a higher valor requirement than you have valor of, it's than it used to have. That's they didn't do that on purpose. It wasn't like, yeah, we're gonna make you earn this, re-earn your own weapon.
Got it. So hopefully you'll get that back relatively quickly. I hope you do. Also, Eric posted on December 2nd regarding the achievement reset. And this was an interesting commentary that I liked hearing. So we had a little bit of a mini rant. I had a couple people on Twitter, saying after they saw this, oh, it must have been because Max and Seema got so terribly angry. And I said, yes, I did have, and I did raise my eyebrow and shake my head and speak disapprovingly about the whole situation. That was the extent of my rage. But they said, yes, we've gotten the feedback that the removal of Dark versus Light achievements has caused frustration. And with that in mind, we're looking at options for having those achievements restored in some way. It might not be exactly how they were, but they're looking at how they can do that. They should have more details to share next week, and we might find out pretty soon as a result. And we just wanted to ensure that we are hearing your frustration around this issue and are looking into solutions. So great. Thank you for them hearing that. I think that's really cool that they sort of caught on that one. The idea of us doing Light versus Dark was, for a lot of us, was just for the achievement. and for them to sort of put that achievement back, even though it's just a little box in a list and a percentage next to it. I'm glad that they're coming and taking a look back at that.
I mean, I'm reserving judgment. It makes me nervous that he says in some way, because I would like it back in the exact way. But you can't have everything in this world.
I wouldn't mind just, well, for me, because I got legendary. Even it was just a thing that said DVL legendary, and I got that checked off for me. But like the tier that you reached, I think would probably be fine. More than that, it would probably be good to more detail. Any more detail beyond that would also be good.
I guess I would be happy if they would have said something like, and I don't expect them to do this, but if they would have said something like, "We don't know what we were thinking." Of course, you guys don't like having an achievement. I was not in that meeting when that decision was made, or something.
Right.
But yes, I'll stop.
Those responsible for the sacking have been sacked. We apologize unreservedly. Yeah, okay. Point taken.
Let's see. There are some heroic missions right now. You can do them repeatedly. They're still supposed to be weekly, and that's an unintended that you can repeat them sort of ad infinitum now. But they're not considering it an exploit. Eric made a post specifically to say that. So enjoy your unlimited heroics this week, everybody.
Yes. And again, it's not so much of an exploit. Yes, it's not intended, but you do have to do stuff. It's not infinite because you have to do work. It seems to me to be pretty reasonable where they're drawing the line on these things that they're considering, hard exploits and not, but that's just me.
Right.
Finally, we did get news that I was surprised to see that this week already they're going to do another dev stream on Thursday. They wanted to catch up and say, hey, here's where the launch went, and they said they have a couple other things to talk about on there, including what the feedback's been on Galactic Command so far, so I'm sure they're going to, hopefully they're going to be relatively upfront about seeing at least some of the feedback that's going back and forth, and we'll see what they say. I'm just happy they're continuing that stream of communication. I certainly expected it to continue to launch of the expansion as sort of like the lead up. But now that it's out there and right away they're going to do another one and keep it rolling, at least one more. I like it, and I hope they do more. And I hope everyone is reasonable enough in their commentary and feedback.
They won't
makes
be.
them want to be doing more.
I think it's a really good sign. I like the fact that they're doing it, even though you might argue, well, there's really nothing for them to say right now. That is not why you would cancel a communication session. So I'm, more proud. Now, if they don't do any more in December, I'm just going to call that a Hollywood thing, but not holiday thing. But right. I would like to see them start up right away in January, because I really think this has been a positive force, these dev streams. So keep it up.
Yes, absolutely. So great. That's a good set of news. A lot of things are going on. Fixes are happening. Things are being discovered to be not quite right, and some things are seen to be broken. Seems like they're taking action and fixing those. That's something to continue to watch. There's always going to be growing pains anytime a new expansion comes out, and I think we're seeing a little of that. Hopefully we'll get everything straightened out before long. In Guild and Community News, we're continuing to see some good streaming, good commentary, some good guides are starting to come out. I did see posted to Reddit and in the forums, at least one person has created a spreadsheet based on math formulas and simulation against those math formulas to determine what this person at least thinks that the gear stat distribution should be at the various gear levels, 230, 240. Mm-hmm. Looks pretty reasonable. The methodology and the approach, but it is based on simulation and against formulas, not on tested gameplay. I would also take it with a grain of salt when you're trying to compare which classes would be performing at what levels, because again, based on math formulas and simulation, that's not gonna compare it to how you actually need to get into a fight and move in a fight and that kind of thing. But that kind of thing is coming up, and I like to see those kinds of contributions coming back up in the community as well. How about guild stuff, Seema?
I just want to say on Monday nights, our pub group could still use another person. So if you like to play on Monday nights and you like to play a Republic, that's the ops for you. You can talk to Dent in Discord or in the game.
Sure can. And if people wanted to get into ye old AIE guild, how would they do that, Seema?
Just log in to Jedi Covenant, join a channel called AIE LFO, say hi, ask for an invite, and an officer who's around will invite you. Best times to check for people are in the evenings. That's you're going to be your highest success rate time.
You know, we all hang out in Discord quite a bit too. If you get all the way to aie-guild.org, the main guild website, and get connected there, maybe put in a guild app, I think is the best way to actually see the Discord information, but you might be able to ask someone and get onto it before that too. But
Right.
That's a great way to track someone down and get an invite and make things happen.
Yeah, because
that
I
way
am
as well.
oftentimes got, I'll check Discord during the day, even if I'm not in the game, and I know Max does the same, so as do the other officers are of Annapolis. And sometimes we can just, log in at that moment and do it, so always worth checking.
Yes, it is. It is always worth checking. And with that, I think we can talk about more about the changing game.
Game changer.
Game changer.
Game changer for
Game changer for the industry.
So I thought it would be interesting, now that we have a couple level 70s and we're starting to see what that end game looks like, is to continue our discussion from last week, a little bit on first impressions, but first impressions of what the end game seems to be at level 70 and how that game has changed. I'm pretty surprised at, as I said, of things of what I've been driven to do or wanted to do. That, like, the whole thing about what's happening around ranked PvP, I think is interesting and good for the game overall. I like the feel of wanting to get in there and do stuff to build up some command XP. I do feel, the idea that grinding command XP on alts is going to be pretty. That does not sound all that great to me. But I'm getting getting a little feel for what's going on at level 70 so far, and I think there's a couple of those points we can tick off. What about you, Seema? How you feeling sort of at level 70 right now, and what you're sort of compelled and not compelled to do?
I think my next thing that I feel compelled to do is to level, because I need to get my pub side healer up to 70. That's my next project, really. So I'm still in the leveling frame of mind, I think. I have done enough, like, Uprisings and stuff to get my Galactic Command rank to rank 7. So that's where I am on that.
Okay. How'd you like the Uprisings so far?
Oh, I thought they were a blast. I mean, did we already talk about the ones we did after the launch? I think
No,
we did,
I don't
right?
think we did.
Oh, so we got together and did some Uprisings. Like, we did some before the launch because we made a little video of that. But then after launch, we did some. The most fun we had was the one where you got a little ability that allowed you to call denizens of the wild to your side and fight for you. So you could get, like, wampas and dewbacks and sand demons, and I don't think there were like 10 or 20 different critters that you could call, and they would help you fight for a short amount of time. So we stood around summoning all the ones that we could.
Right. This was
fun.
on Tatooine, I think. Yeah. So it was the Tatooine Uprising. What was it called? It's called Done and Dusted is the name
Yes.
of the Uprising.
I'm impressed. Yeah, it is what it was called.
I'm
yeah.
looking at it in the Legacy Achievement tab. I didn't remember that off the top of my head. But so in Done and Dusted, it looks like 13 different little creatures that you could. No, 12. There's 12 creatures. So there's the little dust clouds, as Seema said. You get a little pop-up ability on your dynamic command bar. You click that ability in one of the dust clouds, and one of the random denizens of Tatooine spawns and will fight with you and by your side as a little combat companion. You don't get like a command bar for it, but it'll just go and attack the things you're attacking, and it's pretty fun. So yeah, full-size Wampa in there fighting with you was pretty hilarious. There is a meta achievement for getting all 12 of those creatures, and it's random which one you get each time, so it might take you a little bit of clicking to get all 12. And as soon as we saw that meta achievement to get all 12, of course we had to do it. And once you get all 12 of them, the meta achievement also gets you a decoration that just gets automatically added to your decoration collection. And that
Besides,
is...
if we didn't do achievements like this, what achievements would BioWare have to zero out next time?
Right. Touche.
I'm not going to stop saying that for a while yet.
Okay, it's deserved. They can take it. They didn't apologize as profusely as Seema wanted, so they're going to have
Or
to take
at
this a
all.
little bit. They're going to have to take their medicine. So yeah, you get the sandworm hollow as the little decoration. So that's cool.
I like the Uprising. In fact, in terms of doing veteran and master content, I think I'm more likely to be attracted to doing Uprisings or Flashpoints than I would be to like replaying the chapters at higher difficulty.
Yeah. The Uprisings are fun content. It's very fast-paced, dynamic. Doesn't take very long to go through them, and you feel like you're sort of in there in some cool little fights and going through relatively quickly, but doing something significant, which I like.
I did play through it was a master mode Flashpoint, and we had good fun doing that.
You know what I did on my my Sork? So I was thinking, for PvP, maybe I want to level up my Sork so I can get my Sork and start doing some
of course,
ranked PvP. So what was the first thing you think I did to get some XP from level 65 on my Sork? Black Talon.
Oh, Black Talon.
I went and did a solo Black Talon run. I sort of cracked myself up doing that too. It still gives you just as much XP as it sort of did like per level before the expansion. So if you want to continue to do Black Talon up to level 70, you can do that. I'm not going to, but you can. I'm just so used to doing it. That's the first thing I thought of, and that's the first thing I did. On that character, at least. I was doing chapters on my Vanguard. And I think that's the way I'm going to do my Vanguard. So because I want my Vanguard to finish the chapters anyway, so I might as well do them on the Vanguard and get through them. What else could one do at level 70? So we've been talking about the Command XP grind and trying to get Command XP in general. So you can get some crates. Every command rank you get another crate. You can open them up. Some people have been there's positive and negative feedback on what people are getting out of the crates. I'm seeing commentary on some of the forums like, I've been playing 2 days and I'm only at command rank 20. This is going to take forever. Well, you are already at command rank 20, and it's only been 2 days. So that means within a month, you'll have exceeded every possible command rank there is. That doesn't sound like it's actually going that slowly for people. I haven't gotten a set piece, though, out of 10 crates yet, so that's potentially a concern. But I'm still only at tier 1. I'm wondering if at tier 2 or tier 3, the mix of set pieces to regular pieces and green pieces and Jawa junk changes, and that might be interesting to see. How about you, Simon, just getting command ranks and what it's sort of felt like so far?
Well, you know what? So far I haven't really paid attention to getting command ranks, so I've just gotten the ones that have come to me, and that's actually probably how I'll pursue it going forward too. So it seems rewarding, right? Because I'll be like bopping along doing whatever I was going to do anyway, and then I'll get a new command rank, and then I'll have a crate to open. So that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, as I said, I did go and do some war zones. I both wanted to see what the Merc felt like, and I wanted to see what you would be getting potentially out of the ranked PvP, and it was interesting. Also, just sort of side commentary there, the updated abilities to have that new defensive cooldown, the reflective heal bubble on the Merc, from my point of view so far, significantly increases survivability of the Merc in PvP and makes it much more reasonable to play. The Merc was not all that fun in the 4.0 time period to play in PvP. It just seemed to be target. It was always targeted first in what it seemed like to me, and died relatively quickly because you didn't have very many. You sort of had a little bit of an extra escape with your rocket out, but not very many defensive cooldowns. This plus the changes to Colto Overload, if you take the talent that boosts up Colto Overload to pretty high levels, it was feeling pretty good.
That's good to know.
There were still some really good guys out there that, once they all turned their guns onto me and bursted, could blow you up pretty good. But being able to have a few extra defensive cooldowns at your fingertips made the mercenary a little more fun.
I know one of the things that I need to catch up on, and this isn't necessarily a level 70 activity, but there's a bunch of Alliance alerts that I haven't done. I haven't done all the Star Fortresses, I haven't done all of them. And for instance, I would really, really like to run with Blizz, because right now I have a lot of companion gifts, because when I sold off all my crystals, I bought gifts. And I really want to rank up Blizz. I got that idea, and now I want to do it. But apparently I'm stuck in his story somewhere, because I can't actually summon him. So I need to sit down and do some research there and finish his alert, or finish, if I have to do, maybe there's alerts before him that I have to do. But there's a number of stuff like that.
Yeah, there is some things to sort of fill in with there. I agree. There's some alerts I've ignored. I did do the one to get Shea Vizsla, though, on a couple of characters. She's pretty cool. In theory, there's an alert for Master Reynos if you got to the high enough level in DVL. Got to the Eternal level, you should have gotten an alert for Master Reynos to show up for you. What I heard and what I heard that the difficulty is if you got up to Eternal level and not Legendary, you got the alert. If you got Legendary, you didn't get the alert, but you still get you still got the token, and you can turn it in and get Master Reynos. I don't know if they're going to fix that so you also get the alert. So I haven't redeemed that token yet. So that's another
I'm in
one
no
of those
rush.
little bugs. No,
I wanted to complete enough DVL to get the companion, but now that I have the ability to get her, I'm happy. I'm happy to wait for the conversation. I just would rather do it with the conversation if possible.
Yep. Back on the command crates and opening command crates, I don't know, I think everyone's up to speed. There is the idea of disintegrating. So if you do open a command crate and you don't like the things that you've gotten in there, you do potentially get a significant amount of command XP back if you disintegrate the things that are coming out of the crate. So you'll get sort of smaller items and bigger items. So like the little, like the rep tokens you might get, or Jawa junk, you don't get very much command XP back for disintegrating it. The schematics, like here's a schematic that I got, an arms tech schematic for a barrel. No, it's a pistol. For a power tech, it looks like a tanking main hand weapon. That is 230 purple. Looks actually pretty good. So if I wanted to keep that schematic, I could just claim it. If I don't, I can get 150 command XP back for it, which is not bad.
Right.
And you can get up to 200 for some of the other items that might be coming back. So it's keep an eye out for that disintegrating anything you don't want. I disintegrate almost everything that's green, even if it's a slight upgrade, because hey, green. I'm not gonna wear greens. I disintegrate most of the cosmetic shells that come back because what do I need another random, blaster pistol
Yeah,
model? I like the
right.
ones I have, and I've got a lot of the models that I like. And, rep tokens that you already have the capped rep on, although I do like getting those rep tokens for some of the reps that I don't have capped. So that's been good. And then if it's a schematic you already have, all those schematics are legacy bound. So I thought that was really nice too. All the schematics I've been finding are legacy bound. So you can pass those around to your actual crafter that needs that. What have you
Yes,
been
I
doing
mean,
with the stuff in your crates?
well, I just listening to you talk, I realized that with the the faction tokens, the tokens that were for rep that I already had maxed out, I've been claiming those and vendoring them.
Yeah?
Probably not the best plan. I probably should have been disintegrating them. It didn't. It just for whatever reason didn't occur to me. But I will think about that in the future. I'm with you. I look at the orange ones, and unless they're stunning, I just disintegrate them because I have more than one complete cargo hold that's just full of random shells.
Sure.
So
Exactly.
I feel like it's already unmanageable, the number of shells I have. I one day have to sit down and go through them all and do something with them. I don't know what though.
Yeah.
Schematics, I claim them and send them off to whatever character does that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
One thing I was surprised to notice though is that the stash in its initial version only holds 10 items. I don't know why I didn't expect that necessarily. I think I was going by the other stash that holds like 200. The cartel market stash can hold a bunch. So you can only hold up to 10 in this stash. So it's good to keep up to date. Like open a crate, do something with each item. Open the next crate, do something with each item. Don't let them add up in there. Although you can buy and unlock up the cartel market to make the stash bigger.
Really? Huh.
But I think it's probably wiser to just deal with your stuff as you get it and don't let it collect like I have with my cartel market stuff.
And
Or
have
whatever,
we
wherever.
determined what happens if you fill up your stash and then you open another crate? Have we determined what happens?
No, because I came close once before I realized, but I don't know if I actually sent anything into the twisting nether or if I just arrived, I had exactly 10 items.
Well, I would hope that you wouldn't be losing items due to that.
It should just
stop
say,
you.
container full or something.
Yeah, if it does, then that's obviously designed wrong,
Not
and
good.
we should be angry about it. One more thing to put on the angry list.
I mean, we can rant a blat about that.
Yes. Another thing I've been doing at level 70 and even before is the crafting. So I've been
Yes.
taking a lot of my key characters. I think I'm at 600 slicing on probably like 10 characters. Because we're gonna need a lot of new augments, right? I've
Did
also
you say
then
slicing on 10 characters?
yeah, I think so. I don't log in all of those characters though, but yes, I have slicing on many characters. Usually have slicing and then two other things on characters. But I also got my armor mech, my synth weaving, and my arms tech all to 600 because those are the three professions that make augments. And mostly it's the synth weaving is going to be some of the most popular because a lot of people are going to need crit and alacrity augments. But the accuracy augments off of arms tech will be interesting as well, as will from armor mech the tanking augments, which are shield and absorb, depending on how that works. So I got those capped out. I have not bothered to go and cap out like Cybertech, but I also capped out, although I don't have my stims set yet, I capped out biochem so that I can make the new skims. So I can skim the new stims. And the chat room is asking what I've done with my spreadsheets around rewards and tracking, and I have not yet completed the updates to my spreadsheets for the grade 10 materials, grade 10 crafting, or my results tracking for what you're actually getting when you run those missions, which I should do. You're right, DP Roberts. Thank you. How about you? How's your crafting going, Seema?
Well, let's see. I've been also like you. I've been doing arms tech, synth weaving, and armor mech, and I've sold a few things. I think I sold an augment kit on day one for like 1,000,000 credits, but they're like,
Yeah.
nothing like that now. I, I mean, yeah. I don't feel bad about doing that because the people who are buying on day one, they have I mean, that's their choice. They have the credits to burn. They want it that day and not the day after. That's up to them. But yeah, I've been doing a little bit of that. I kind of I found it pretty easy to level my crafting on all three of those up to 600. What I did was I went to Darvanis on this character, and right now she has all three gatherings. So I just ran around. I mean, not all three gathering. I just ran around on Darvanis and picked up metals and slicing lockboxes and crystals. She doesn't have bioanalysis. She has slicing instead of that. And it didn't take me that long to get enough mats together to really level up all three of those for those 50 points that I needed in each one. So that's how I did that.
Right. It does not take long. And as we said, if you get to 66 and you can send 8 companions out at a time, it doesn't take long to level up your mission skills or your
Yeah, you
gathering
can do it
skills,
that way.
even if you're
Yeah.
just sending them out that way. So
Yeah,
that
I've
goes
leveled
pretty
up
quickly.
Underworld as well because I needed that for something. I'm blanking on what it was, but I think the blue map from Underworld trading is what you need for the synth weaving stuff, maybe. But
Yes. There's the underworld fabric and the underworld metals for various crafting. For people that are looking for them, the grade 10 gathering nodes are on Zakul. So you'll find now grade 9 and grade 10 on Zakul for archaeology and for scavenging and for
And
slicing.
on Darvanis, that's where
And
I
on
went.
and on Darvanis. Okay.
And there's just so many nodes. I mean, yes, a lot of it's also grade 9, but it's just a lot of nodes. And also I was leveling up those because I dropped other skills to take gathering because I figured this would be the character I would be on most of the time. She might as well be the gatherer.
I forgot about Darvanis because my Sork, who's my gathering character, who has both archaeology and scavenging and slicing, can't get to Darvanis. So that's a little bit of a
So
problem.
that is why I switched all my gathering to this character because I figured leveling up gathering would be way quicker than doing 15 chapters on the character, the 2 or 3 characters had those. And keep in mind, you don't have to level up the gathering to gather on Darvanis.
Yeah, but right. You don't have to. There's no lower limit to
Right.
getting items out of nodes. You'll get less at the lower levels, but you could start at level 1 archaeology and get crafting materials out of grade 10 archaeology nodes, which
That's
is
right.
cool. I wonder if I started Knights of the Eternal Throne on my Sork, skipped ahead, if it would unlock Darvanis for me on my ship
Ooh.
map so I could fly there.
That is
That's an
an
interesting
excellent
question.
idea. Let me know how that goes.
I may try that. Speaking of leveling my Sork and my Vanguard, obviously that's something else that a lot of people are doing as well. Now that they've gotten one character to level 70, what else can you do at endgame for level 70? Get more level 70s. So that's a thing. I don't think much
It is
more
a thing. It is a
needs to be
thing.
said about that. I think I do need to get, especially for those of us that are playing a lot of grouped content, we often have multiple characters for the roles that they play. So I have my mercenaries as my main DPS characters, and then my Vanguard and Power Tech are my main tank characters. So I'll need to do those, and then my Sork is my main PvP character. I will level up some of the other characters over time just for fun, but if I want to pull a character out to play a role in group content, it's usually one of those 4 or 5. How about you? You said you're mostly just trying to make sure you've got your healers set for both sides, right, Seema?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my
Finally,
plan.
achievements. So if you look at the chapters, you look at your chapter list. One interesting way to sort of see those achievements listed out is do you have the little token lit up to says you've done it all the chapters on veteran yet? So some people could be going through and doing that. You'll get Galactic Command XP every time you do those kinds of things. As you said, Seema, going and filling, getting the rest of your alerts done. That's a thing you can do, I guess. That's sort of a level 70 thing. It's not all that new, although the new mode types for all of the content, for the flashpoints and for the uprisings and for the chapters, that's a thing to do at level 70. Are you going after any of that yet, or is there anything in particular you're trying to check off your list yet?
For achievements, no. Because,
Got plenty of other things to do.
that and, who knows what the next achievement is that BioWare will reset.
Yeah, BioWare. And finally, although we talked a little bit about it earlier, the dark versus light event that's happening on a regular basis on the server does seem to be broken, at least on Jedi Covenant. You can still get into it, and even though light side is winning every time on Jedi Covenant, keep in mind the way it works is if you're dark aligned and light side wins, there's still stuff for you to do. So you don't get the immediate bonus off of it being light side, but what you do get in theory, so I think right now light side has won on Jedi Covenant, there should be light side DVL bosses spawning at various places on various planets around the galaxy. The challenge then is for you to grab a bunch of people, go find those bosses, and you as a dark side character killing one of those light side bosses gets you tokens and the rewards associated with what you want to be getting out of the DVL stuff. So there's reasons to there's even after it all does work and it's balanced and both sides are winning and losing, there's reasons to not mind if you lose, if you're, if the server goes in the other direction, that not your way, because you might want to go do one of these things and get these kinds of rewards off of these bosses.
Yes.
I have not seen one of these bosses yet, but I do want to go find them and I want to hunt them down
Yes.
and I want to kill them.
That's a good point. That's something I have on my list too that I would like to do.
So hopefully we'll get to try that out. Maybe next mandatory fun night we'll see if we can get to a server win state at some point, and just for fun go see if we can at least find one and take a look at it and poke it with a stick.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
Well, we would have to find yeah, exactly.
I think anyone can kill them. I think the rewards you get are different if you're light or dark, though. I think light side people can still go be part of the group that kills a light side boss. Not positive on that, but I think that's the case. So we'll have to try it. Or someone can just tell us, and then we won't have to try it.
If that's true, that's kind of strange. But whatever. We will enjoy the journey of finding out.
Yeah. We will enjoy the journey. Finally, because I saw something weird on Arvashet's nameplate here while we were starting the podcast off, you can also start going through your Galactic Command ranks, and that will help you discover as soon as you get to Galactic Command Tier 1, which is Galactic Command Rank 1, and up to 90, I believe, you'll find you now have a second entry in your flare list. We talked about the flare list last week. Now there's a different little piece of flare that you can add to your character nameplate down below and to your nameplate floating above your head. So you can have the Tier 1 flare or the Legendary flare if you've got Legendary status. So there's two little pieces of flare.
I have Tier 1, but Tier 2 comes at
90.
What rank? 90, that's what you just said. Okay.
Yep.
Now I'm with you. Yeah.
So 2 pieces of flare, not yet 20, but we do have 2. So awesome. Soon, someday we will have 20, and then it's not that I require you to wear more than 20 pieces of flair, but I want you to want to wear.
I'll have to watch that movie
your
again
flair.
soon.
But I think that wraps it up, and now it gives us an opportunity to get back in there and do more things in our little end game here at level 70. I will catch up with you guys in the chat room and rant more or less about the kinds of extra feedback we're hearing about end game in the game on Reddit and the forums. But I think that's all we have to say for now. So with that, our EPC 172 droid is ready to head out. Thanks to all of you for joining us on newoverlords.com, on iTunes, on YouTube, or live on Twitch. We will stream again next Tuesday night on twitch.tv/newoverlords around 10:30 p.m. Central. Please follow us on Twitter at MaxTheGray and at AIESEMA. Please find us on YouTube and subscribe there. And certainly come find us on Jedi Covenant and ask us for an AIE Guild invite. We would love to have you, and we will talk to you soon.
Later, everyone.